Part 1. The Inheritance. I never wanted the house. Not really. When Aunt Margaret died, the lawyer's voice was brittle as he read her will over the phone. To my dearest niece Clara, I leave the Wellingham property and all its contents. I remember blinking at the wall in my cramped apartment, surrounded by unpacked boxes and a flickering light bulb. It felt like a punchline to a joke I hadn't understood. I hadn't seen Aunt Margaret since I was a kid. She was strange, distant. She smelled like lavender and dust and always wore gloves, even in summer. She owned a grand, crumbling estate on the outskirts of Dorset, half swallowed by fog and pine. A place whispered about even by adults. They called it the Mirror House. It took 2 weeks to arrange the paperwork and longer to work up the courage, but I finally made the trip. I arrived just before dusk, tires crunching gravel as Wellingham Manor loomed like a memory. Gothic arches, ivy-choked walls, windows like watching eyes. It was colder than it should have been. The housekeeper, a thin woman named Edna, greeted me with eyes that didn't quite meet mine. "You're staying the night, miss?" I hesitated. I thought I might. She nodded stiffly. "I wouldn't recommend the second floor after sundown. Just don't go to room 237. Even locked, it opens." That should have been enough to send me back to the car. But it wasn't. Something about the way she said it, like reciting a warning she no longer believed, only deepened my curiosity. I nodded, pretending not to care. "Sure." She handed me the keys with fingers that trembled slightly. "If you hear anything at all, stay in your room. Lights on." The first night was quiet. Dust coated everything, like a burial shroud. The wallpaper curled at the edges. The floorboards creaked like they were whispering. But it was beautiful in a way, grand, haunted only by time. I found the mirror the next morning. It was in the attic, under a dust sheet, 7 feet tall, gilded in tarnished silver. Its frame was carved with strange symbols, barely legible, but hypnotic. I didn't mean to uncover it. I was looking for photo albums, something to make this place feel less like a tomb, but when I pulled back the sheet, the air changed. Not colder, just heavier. The mirror didn't reflect the room exactly. The angle was off. Slightly. I blinked, it blinked. I should have walked away. Instead, I reached out and touched the glass. Nothing happened. At first. That night, I dreamed of Margaret. She was sitting in a chair in room 237. Her eyes were gone, just dark sockets dripping ink. She spoke, but her mouth didn't move. "You shouldn't have uncovered it, Clara." I woke with a gasp, heart hammering. The second night, I heard footsteps above me. Heavy, slow. I was sleeping in the guest bedroom on the ground floor, just as Edna had suggested. I told myself it was the wind, the house settling. But when I checked the time, 3:37 a.m., I felt cold run down my spine. My phone buzzed. One new voicemail. It was from a blocked number. I pressed play. "You see me now. I see you always." A woman's voice, dry, ancient, followed by the sound of glass cracking. I started researching the house the next morning. Margaret had bought it in 1962 after a fire destroyed the asylum that had stood on the same land, Wellingham Psychiatric Hospital. Closed due to excessive patient fatalities. No survivors, except one. Room 237 had been a patient cell, one reserved for self-reflective therapy. They used mirrors to treat disorders of identity. One woman, a patient named Judith Albrecht, was locked inside that room for 2 years. She never spoke again. Not in words, just in whispers. She died during the fire, or so they thought. But some said she moved into the mirror. I returned to the attic. The mirror was still there. Except now, there were fingerprints. On the inside. I tried to call Edna. No answer. Instead, I heard a voice behind me. Faint, female.
Clara.
I turned. No one. The attic was empty, but the air tasted like static. My fingers tingled as if charged with electricity. My breath showed in clouds. I turned back to the mirror. In the reflection, a woman was standing just behind me. I spun around. Nothing. I looked again. Gone. I ran. That night, I locked my door. I left every light on. But the house didn't sleep. I heard footsteps on the stairs, then soft knocking at my door, just once. And then again. 3 knocks. Pause. 3 knocks. Again. I covered my ears. I whispered to myself, "It's just old wood, it's just the wind." But then the lights flickered and my phone screen lit up. New message. Room 237 is open now. I didn't sleep. I drank coffee until my hands shook. I kept my back to the wall and stared at the door. But nothing else happened. When the sun rose, I rushed to the second floor. Room 237 should have been locked. It wasn't. The door creaked open with a soft whine. Inside, dust, shadow, and cold. And the mirror. Not the one from the attic. Another, exactly the same. Facing the bed, tall and silent. I stepped inside, barefoot. The floor felt damp, though the wood was dry. The mirror hummed. I stared into it. At first, it was me. Then not me. My face, but different. My eyes, black. My mouth, smiling. I wasn't smiling. The reflection raised its hand. I didn't. It waved. I ran. I locked the room. I even pushed a dresser in front of it. That night, my phone rang. Blocked number. I answered. Nothing but breathing. And then my own voice. Why are you running? The house wants me here. I feel it in the walls, the static in the air, the smell of burnt lavender. I tried to leave. My car wouldn't start. The tires were slashed. The phone lines, dead. I found a letter from Margaret, folded into a book on mirror mythology, dated 6 months before her death. Clara, if you're reading this, it means I failed to destroy it. You must resist her. The mirror mother. She mimics, she learns, she becomes. Do not look too long. Do not speak her name. And never let your reflection blink first. Last night, I watched myself in the mirror again. I sat in front of it, daring it to move. It didn't. Until I blinked. Then she smiled and whispered, "You're mine now." Part 2. The reflection lies. They say mirrors can't lie. Whoever said that never met the one in room 237. I've been trapped in this house for 4 days now. The power flickers when I get too close to certain rooms. My phone battery drains as soon as I try to record anything. I tried smashing a mirror in the hallway, the one near the grand staircase. It shattered, but the shards bled. Not metaphorically. They bled. Thick, black fluid oozed out like tar, and I swear I heard a scream. Not from outside, but from inside the wall. I haven't touched another mirror since. Room 237 is still locked, technically. The dresser I pushed in front of it hasn't moved, but I hear sounds from inside, scraping, breathing, whispered laughter. At 3:37 a.m. each night, I wake up, not from a nightmare, from the silence. Then the knocking begins. 3 times. Pause. 3 times. Always the same rhythm. I started counting the seconds between them, always 6, like a ritual, like a pulse. Yesterday, I opened the wardrobe in the upstairs guest bedroom. I found photos, black and white, curled at the edges. Some showed Margaret in her younger years, smiling stiffly beside a man I didn't recognize. Others were older, patients, maybe, all staring into mirrors, some smiling, others warped, faces stretched at impossible angles, mouths open in silent screams. Then I found one of me. Except it wasn't me. I was 6, maybe 7, but the girl in the photo had darker eyes, and she was holding hands with Aunt Margaret. I've never been here before, not as a child. At least, I thought I hadn't. I don't know what's real anymore. That night, I had the dream again. Margaret sitting in the chair in room 237, her gloved hands folded on her lap. No eyes, just darkness. "She's almost ready," she said. I asked who. Margaret smiled, lips cracking open like dried leaves. "You." This morning, I found a crack in the mirror over the bathroom sink, a perfect hairline split, like something trying to crawl through. As I brushed my teeth, my reflection lagged behind. Just a second. Then it smiled. I didn't. I covered every mirror in the house with sheets, white heavy cloths from the attic. I nailed them in place, every single one. I even avoided looking at my reflection in windows. Anything shiny. The reflection always moves differently now, a fraction too late or too soon. Like it's learning, like it's practicing. I've started recording audio journals on a tape recorder I found in Margaret's study. It's old, but it works. Audio log, April 18th, 2:12 p.m. I'm not alone. Not really. The house is empty, but something moves when I'm not looking. I can hear the mirror humming at night, not like sound, but like a headache. and I swear I can hear my own voice, faintly, coming from inside the walls. Margaret knew this thing was alive. She didn't try to escape, she tried to contain it. And I let it out. I found another letter in the cellar. This one was addressed directly to me. Clara, you must burn the mirror. You must do it at 3:37 a.m. when the veil is thinnest. But you must not look at it while it burns. Do not listen to it. No matter what it says, it will lie, it will beg, it will cry like a child. Do not believe it. Do not believe her. Margaret. There was a stain on the paper. I want to say it was wine, but it smelled like iron. I prepared everything. I dragged the mirror from the attic back into the main room. I don't know how I managed it. It felt light, almost eager, like it wanted to move, like it wanted me to take it somewhere. I soaked a blanket in lighter fluid, placed it at the base, opened all the windows. The fog outside pulsed as if reacting. I stared at the mirror one last time. My reflection smiled. I didn't. At exactly 3:37 a.m., I lit the match. The flames leapt fast, licking the edges of the frame, and then the mirror screamed. It was her voice. Clara, no, please, it's me, it's you. I covered my ears, shut my eyes, but then I heard my mother's voice. Clara, sweetie, why are you doing this? Don't you love me? My mother's voice. Exactly. Tone, breath, even the little way she says sweetie, like she's trying not to cry. I opened my eyes and saw her. In the mirror, burning. She reached out, her hand pressed against the inside of the glass as fire curled around her. I froze. I wanted to stop it. My muscles tensed, my body screamed to act, but the note. Do not look, do not listen, do not believe. I turned away, and the house shook. A gust of wind howled through the hallway. Doors slammed, light bulbs popped. The walls groaned like they were in pain. The fire exploded into black smoke, curling like fingers across the ceiling. I dropped to the ground, coughing, screaming. Then, silence. When I opened my eyes, the mirror was intact, not even a scorch mark. The blanket was ash. The room reeked of burnt hair and rust, but the mirror stood untouched, shimmering with faint light. And in its surface, my mother again, smiling, but her eyes were hollow now. She opened her mouth, and the mirror whispered, "You're mine now." I haven't slept since. I don't think I can anymore. The mirror is inside me now. Not metaphorically, I feel it. I hear it breathing when I close my eyes. I catch flickers of myself in places I'm not. Reflected in doorknobs, puddles, glass, even shadows. Always smiling, always watching. I think it's learning how to walk in my skin. Last night, I tried to leave again. The front door was gone, not locked, not barricaded. Gone. Just smooth, unbroken wall where it used to be. Like the house was never meant to open. Like I've been absorbed into it. I ran upstairs, panicked, shouting, pounding on windows. But there was no sound, not even an echo. This place, it's folding in on itself. I found a mirror shard this morning, just one under my bed. It was warm, pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. When I picked it up, I saw something that wasn't me. It looked like me but older, or maybe less human. The eyes were all wrong, the smile too wide, teeth like needles. She whispered through the shard, "You've already crossed over. There's no going back." I dropped it. It shattered into dust. But now I feel hollow, like a part of me cracked with it. I see her more often now, the reflection. She stands behind me when I brush my teeth, sleeps beside me in the mirror above the fireplace. She mouths things when I talk. Sometimes her lips move when I don't. She's not imitating me anymore, she's leading. Last night, I woke up standing. I was in front of the mirror again. I don't remember getting there. My eyes were open, but I felt asleep, like I was watching from inside. And we were smiling. I scratched something into the wall. With my own fingernails, I don't remember doing it. 4 words. I am not Clara. I don't know what that means. Or maybe I do. Maybe I'm the reflection now. I tried not to sleep. I really did. But your body eventually betrays you. It shuts down. It lets the dark in. And in the dark, she waits. I dreamt I was standing in a hallway made of mirrors. Endless reflections, all of them wrong. Some versions of me were screaming, others laughing. One was banging her head against the glass, blood blooming down her forehead in slow-motion drips. I turned to run, but all the mirrors turned with me. All of them smiling. When I woke up, I had blood under my fingernails. And my feet were dirty. I'd walked somewhere. I found a trail of wet footprints leading from my bed all the way to room 237. The door was open. I didn't open it. At least I don't remember opening it. The mirror inside was waiting for me. Not the one I tried to burn. The other one. The original. It had grown. It stretched from floor to ceiling now, and the air in the room was freezing, humming with static. And in the glass, she moved. I didn't. She stepped forward just an inch. And my stomach twisted. It felt like something had shifted inside me, like organs rearranging. My breath caught. My eyes stung. Tears came without sadness. And then I saw it. She had no reflection of her own. The mirror behind her was just black, like it swallowed light, like he wasn't supposed to exist. And she whispered, "You blinked first." I backed away. I slammed the door. I bolted it shut. And then I heard her voice through the keyhole. "We're past doors now, Clara. The rest of the house has changed." The kitchen now loops back into the dining room, even though they're on opposite sides of the house. I watch the front hallway stretch, like a rubber band, and then snap back. Windows show different weather, sometimes snow, sometimes lightning, even though it's spring. The clocks have all stopped, each one frozen at 3:37. The worst part? I'm not alone anymore. She doesn't hide behind the mirror now. She walks with me. I see her in my periphery, a flicker, a twitch. When I turn, she's gone, but not always. Sometimes she stays. She stands in the corner of the room with her head tilted, hands clasped like a broken doll. Once, I looked into the hallway and saw her crawl across the ceiling, upside down, fast, like a spider. I didn't scream. I couldn't. My voice was gone. I found a knife. I thought if I cut out whatever part of me she's hiding in, maybe I could get her out. But when I looked in the mirror, my bathroom mirror, the one I covered days ago, I saw her standing behind me, gently shaking her head. I blinked. And now I have no reflection at all. She's not copying me anymore. I'm copying her. I tried to call someone, anyone. The phone worked for a minute. I dialed 911. The ringtone played backwards. Then a voice answered, my voice. We don't help mirrors. The photographs in the hallway have changed. Where once there were family portraits, now there are rows of people I don't recognize, faces twisted into forced smiles, eyes too wide, mouths too still. Some of them look like they've been scratched out or replaced. One photo was of Margaret. Only now, she's standing in front of a mirror. No reflection. Behind her, me. I don't know how long I've been here anymore. Time slips. Sometimes I wake up and it's morning. Other times, the sun never rises. The fog outside has turned thick, like wet cotton. I tried to open a window. The glass was solid, like stone. No air, no wind, just the smell of dust and old lavender. I started writing things on the wall, not for anyone else, for me. To remember. Do not trust her. She is not you. Don't sleep. If she smiles, run. But one morning I woke up, and all the writing was gone. Replaced by one sentence, "You belong to the glass." I looked in the mirror again. She smiled. This time, I smiled too. And I didn't mean to. I woke up on the floor. Again, nails broken, blood under them. My hands were wet, my mouth dry. There was dirt in my teeth, and under me, scratched into the wooden floor, was a message. "You came here before." I sat up slowly. Every bone in my body ached. I had the dream again. No, not a dream, a memory. Margaret, younger. She held my hand. I was just a child. We stood in room 237. She knelt down, looked me in the eyes, and said, "Clara, if I don't come back, don't open the mirror." I had forgotten that. Until now. The walls of the house feel thinner. Sometimes I see things through them, shapes, faces. Last night, I walked past the grand mirror in the hallway. I didn't mean to look, but I did. And I saw myself in a hospital gown, strapped to a bed, screaming. I turned away, fast. But now, I can't tell which side I'm on anymore. I went back to room 237. The door was open. There was a mirror on the ceiling now, one I'd never seen before. It pulsed, like a heart. The room smelled of burnt skin and lavender. I stepped inside, and she was waiting. The reflection, only not just her. There were many now. Versions of me, some smiling, some crying. One was ripping her own face off slowly, like peeling an orange. And in the center, the original one, tall, calm, smiling. "You've come home," she said. Her voice was mine, but heavier, older, tired. "I want to wake up," I said. She shook her head. This is the waking. I turned to run, but the door was gone, just a wall of glass now, and in it, me, but not me, dressed in normal clothes, happy, alive. Standing in my apartment, holding a mug of tea, watching rain fall, I pressed my hand to the glass. She did the same, but I noticed something. She had no reflection. The mirror behind her showed nothing, only the room, not her. She smiled, then winked. And I understood. I was never outside the mirror. I was never Clara. I'm just the one who stayed behind. She walks in my world now. She took my life, my voice, my skin, and left me here, trapped in the glass, screaming behind my smile. I see her brushing her hair. I see her posting photos online. I see her laughing with friends who don't notice the difference. Because she's perfect. She learned me well. Better than I ever was, and now I wait for someone else to blink.